I pledge to fight the corruption in Dolton. I pledge to bring economic development and to get rid of boarded up houses and businesses.
Many months later.
Don't nobody know nothing? Yeah. Nobody? Nobody? Trustees? Nobody?
Nobody know nothing.
Somebody knows something.
Everybody don't speak.
Every single resident. Pay me what you owe me.
Kingpin Nino Brown from the 1991 Wesley Snipes movie, New Jack City, is an elected official who is now being investigated by the FBI.
Dolton residents, I am reporting for duty.
The 37-year-old single mom also focused on bringing jobs to the town of about 23,000 people. She plans to use federal money to give out grants to local businesses.
Tiffany Henyard promised a $1 million giveaway, which turned out to be public funds. Well, turns out the $1 million is part of the General Assistance Fund administered by Thornton Township, which is used for food pantries, senior services, and other social programs.
We went from financially sound to a $7 million deficit, and that deficit continues to grow.
WGN Investigates has cataloged tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars spent on trips, meals, and more by Tiffany Henyard and her allies in Dolton and on the Thornton Township Board, where she's the supervisor.
So she tricks the citizens into thinking, hey, all of this spending is just to provide you with services. And the trustees, they want to cut the spending because they don't want you to have these services.
We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people, showing them that they matter to us.
Bro, what are
we
you
going
talking
through
about,
the fires for y'all.
When the truth is, she's overspending and she's doing so much frivolous spending.
Henyard and other officials spent more than $67,000 on trips to Portland, Austin, Atlanta, and New York City. So were the accommodations. In Atlanta, Henyard and her team stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel, costing taxpayers more than $9,000. In New York, the bill came to $13,000.
And I just wish that people would check facts before you judge. Don't judge anybody, because at the end of the day, you cannot judge anybody.
Staff, I sat here and looked at a lease that y'all paying $149,000 for one of them trucks. That's like when you 19 years old and you go get a car and the interest rate 27%. That makes absolutely no sense.
$149,000 on a Tahoe? I knew this woman wasn't too bright. But come on, she's out there lying to those people in Dolton like she's helping them, when really she's just helping herself to the taxpayers' money.
It's catching up with us, and at some point, it'll eventually come to an end, and we don't know where that may lead us.
Y'all should be ashamed of y'allself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of y'allself. Shame on y'all.
Now, leave me. There you go, man. Get the out.
Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk. You see, you polite savages, this is what you get when you have somebody who's unaccountable get a high-powered job and proceed to crush everybody around them because they feel like they're the queen. Tiffany Henyard, a.k.a. the Super City Girl Mayor, a.k.a. Tiffany $149,000 Tahoe.
$146.20. Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
I don't see that.
Okay, but you want me back?
I don't.
I know she didn't just say she didn't see it. Like, ma'am, even if you couldn't see it from there, you know you signed over $149,000 for this Tahoe.
At the end of the day, it's not about going back and forth with you. It's about making financial decisions that is in the benefit of everybody and just not one person. And you can't seem to understand that.
Is now in a situation where she's getting investigated, not because there's some grand conspiracy against her, but because she's out of control, unaccountable, and a liar.
Tiffany hired a former campaign worker as a code enforcement officer, despite the fact that he had been convicted of a horrible offense against a minor. The mayor used taxpayer money to create personalized billboards in the village. They prominently featured her name and image. Tiffany has been accused of misusing the Dolton police force. She filmed a music video with police officers and assigned full-time officers to her personal security detail.
It's unfortunate that politics are being played
But what has happened is $1 million out of my budget has been cut because of politics.
We're not saying the police is not doing a good job. What we're saying is you're assigning all of them to be with you when they should be out here protecting the residents so we can all feel safe.
Now, there was a time about 40 years ago that if you were in politics, you had to do a whole lot if you were from a certain sector of society just to sit at the table. You had to be beyond reproach. And when you got caught dirty, oh, you better been the most popular dirty politician in the history of dirty politicians, aka Marion Barry, to survive. But see, nowadays we have folks who are not even doing things for the people. Soon as they get there, they don't have no programs. They just start shoveling money in their pockets. And when people ask them about it, they shot them down.
Vendors are not being paid. Board approved it. The vendors are not being paid.
How about you be a good leader, bring RFPs to the forefront, so not just us, but the residents and everybody else in America know how the money is being spent.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, but everything we do for the people. But we under attack.
Now, the biggest question you have to ask yourself is, how did Tiffany Henyard, who literally was convicted of a crime a few years ago, how did she get in this position to even be a mayor and also hold another public servant position where she's making almost $300,000 a year in middle America?
Henyard's picture and name adorn virtually every public posting, both from Dolton, where as mayor she makes $46,000 a year, and in Thornton Township, where as the elected supervisor she collects more than $200,000 a year. But for all that money, Henyard's tenure at both has been chaotic, with firings, scandals, and a legal battle with the Dolton trustees over spending.
Well, it's quite simple. See, she spoke the right language. She was urban, and she played it up. She played the woman card. She played the race card. She was the youngest mayor and the youngest black mayor in the history of Dolton. And there you go.
And why we can't help each other, why we can't put our heads together and help one another, why we can't band together at this time, at this moment. This is going to be Black History Month, right? Y'all all say Martin Luther King had a dream, but guess what? I am the dream. So now I need you guys to stand with me and help me.
You know, it kind of reminds me when Hillary Clinton was running for president. And a lot of folks, they were just going to vote for her because she was a woman. You see, this happens all the time in the culture. You fall for these snake oil salesmen in the community. And they're saying what you want to hear. They're shucking and jiving and backsliding, doing the James Brown and kissing babies, going to church on Sundays, getting saved and sanctified. And what they're actually doing is running up in your pockets.
You gotta be quick on that, buddy.
Congratulations. Once again, you've been grifted by the grifters. And don't let us get started on her charity.
We're walking through Dolton. All right, we're in Brightwood now. We are walking all over Cancer on our way to Springfield. I have created a bill to give everybody $5,000 on their income tax when they file if you are suffering from cancer.
But so far, nothing has come of her bill.
Oh, yeah, she cares. And it's a charity aimed at cancer patients in her local area. She had a big fundraiser, which, of course, she charged most of the expenses to the city. She got the city to make a donation or something like that. I mean, just crooked politics all around.
I can pretty much map out their entire Springfield trip on the township credit cards.
Stephanie Wiedemann is the former Thornton Township Chief of Staff, whom Henyard fired shortly after taking over in March of last year.
It almost felt like a takeover, and a very aggressive one at that.
Since her firing, Wiedemann has been documenting township spending and says she's stunned by the taxpayer dollars funneled into Henyard's charity.
To the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. Township and Dolton workers and vehicles have been used for the charity's events.
That's right. Henyard billed thousands of dollars in hotel rooms and meals during the trip to Thornton Township and Dolton credit cards, including a flatbed trailer with a photographer, flying a drone, and a DJ.
The foundation claims to help cancer patients, but hasn't filed any of the required financial disclosures.
And of course, she's not in good standing. She doesn't have her paperwork together. It's just depressing at this point. I mean, it's really laughable.
The Attorney General sending a letter today threatening legal action to recover money paid to foundation board members and staff.
And then when she got confronted, what did she do? Man, she started shuffling, shucking and jiving, moonwalking, doing an electric slide, the hokey pokey, turned herself around. I mean, she was doing anything.
Why did you and the board vote to give your foundation $10,000?
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is nowhere, sir.
Why are you using public money for your personal charity?
$17,000 for insurance. Why?
Stuttering and stammering anything until she got herself together and told Roland Martin the biggest line of crap anybody could hear.
You have Tiffany Henyard Cares, your foundation. So the Attorney General's office hasn't reached out to you regarding your foundation?
I don't have a foundation. I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, and what that entails is helping everybody within the 17 municipalities with services. If you say this is Tiffany t-shirt, people gonna buy it, because right now I'm considered what? Clickbait. People make money off of my name by views.
Then there's the merch.
This shirt, one of the t-shirts.
Also available on her charity's website.
I think that everything she has initiated has been something to promote her, something to get her name in household, something to get people to buy into voting for her.
So you just
So
take my
you
name.
don't have a you don't have a
I
foundation?
don't. I do not. And that's
Okay.
why I tell everybody, go do your research. I'm not on anything.
I can't lie.
Oh, that's not my charity. Just some people like my name is clickbait. So they're going to use my name because my name's going to get them clicks. It's going to make money. And then when Roland Martin said, well, have you talked to them about using your name? Oh, no, my lawyer's handling all of that. But fast forward, when she was in her city council meeting promoting this walk so she can get them to donate money to her charity. Oh, it's my charity. I'm for cancer. My mother passed away from cancer. I want people to have means and this and that and that and this. But of course, she's not going to do it on the up and up because you see, when you put all that sunshine on where everything is going, you can't pocket that money, sis. And we all know that's what she's doing. I mean, let's keep it real. This is a politician with strong arm tactics who's in it for herself. And listen, most politicians are in it for themselves, but most of them aren't stupid enough to be this transparent with their crookedness.
Now, this week, federal investigators confirmed that they are looking into Tiffany Henyard, who has been accused of misusing taxpayer funds and more. And as a result of that, basically throwing the town into unmanageable debt. The situation is so bad that bankers are looking to repossess police cruisers from the town because she has failed to make payments to the lenders for the vehicles.
Tiffany Henyard did not only fail as a mayor to her people of Dolton, Illinois, and as a supervisor to Thornton Township, but she also failed to share and spread the goods and treasury, the loot, and the money with her colleagues serving with her. If she had only dedicated time in reading A Dictator's Handbook, Why Bad Behavior is Almost Always Good Politics by Bruce Bueno de Mesquita and Alistair Smith, Tiffany Henyard may have had a fighting chance if her colleagues were corrupt enough to receive monetary rewards like she had done.
You want to distribute the minimum amount of that revenue that you can get away with to keep your coalition loyal to you. The reason you want to give them as little as you can, subject to the constraint that they not join somebody else, is you want as much of the money left over for your own discretion as possible. The smaller the coalition, the more efficient it is to buy loyalty with private goods instead of public goods.
And if her colleagues weren't corrupt, then she needed to replace all the upstanding government servants of moral character in time with her cronies as fast as possible. Which she did try to do, by the way, but failed to get it done in time. At the end of the day, Tiffany Henyard got too greedy, became too selfish, and drunk in her own limelight, and drunk off of power. Tiffany Henyard could have stood up stated power was that she had to take care of her subordinates and colleagues with gifts, favors, and the share of the treasury, in addition to replacing virtuous servants of the community with her cronies.
You know, you polite savages, I thought I would never see a set of circumstances worse than a politics out west. I mean, I've been in California for a long time, and I've seen some crazy stuff happen here. I've seen some stupid policies, but I've never seen such blatant lying and stealing as a super city girl mayor. And she's just a straight up idiot. I mean, the FBI is investigating her. I've never seen somebody have the federal government investigating, the state investigating, and the local investigation all at the same time. But, well, Ms. Henyard, you've won the grand prize. But the funny thing is, if you looked up synonyms with strongman politicians, they would describe her. Because what she's doing is, you've seen the coercion and the intimidation. You've seen the bullying and the manipulation, the pressuring, the domination. You've seen her tyranny. You've seen straight dictatorship and authoritarianism. You've seen the unaccountability at the highest level with Ms. Henyard. But what we haven't seen, and what we're not going to see from her, is a damn apology. Because she owes the people who she's been ripping off for the last 2 years a lot more than that.
Misery needs company, and that's what these 4 individuals need. They need company. They need you guys to like what they doing, which is nothing, in the village of Dolton. And I try to point out every single board meeting how they neglect y'all, how they don't pay bills to that one vendor that actually get paid. The trustees took you out of that.
That's right, the educated brother from the bank. He's the real head of the CMB. This thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof. If I'm going down, I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
Order in the court. Order in the court.
Thank you for listening to the TIP Network. Follow us on all social medias. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is ScottT and grow.
Peace. We found true happiness